Amelia ventured deep into the isolated forest. Her brother Ethan was missing. He had been researching the Hollow Man. This creature could erase a person's existence. Amelia's heart pounded with fear and determination. The forest closed in around her, thick with silence. As dusk settled, she found a dilapidated cabin. With a deep breath, she knocked on the weathered door. The forest surrounding the cabin was a character unto itself. Ancient trees twisted towards the sky, their branches gnarled and skeletal like grasping claws. The undergrowth was thick and tangled, a labyrinth of shadows and decay. The air hung heavy with the smell of damp earth and decaying leaves. It was a smell that spoke of secrets buried deep, of things best left undisturbed. The silence, broken only by the occasional snap of a twig or the rustle of unseen creatures, was unnerving. The forest seemed to watch Amelia, its unseen eyes following her every move. It was a place of isolation, where one could easily become lost, both physically and mentally. The forest was more than just a setting. It was a reflection of the growing fear and dread that gnawed at Amelia's heart. Each step deeper into the woods felt like a step closer to the unknown, to the truth behind her brother's disappearance. And as she ventured further, she couldn't shake the feeling that something watched her from the shadows, something ancient and malevolent. Inside the cabin, dust-covered furniture and cobwebs hinted at long abandonment. Amelia found her brother's belongings scattered around: a worn backpack, a half-written journal, research papers strewn across a makeshift desk. As she carefully sifted through his things, a chilling picture began to emerge. Ethan had become obsessed with the Hollow Man, convinced that the legend was real. His notes were filled with frantic scribbles, drawings of a shadowy figure, and chilling accounts from local folklore. One passage in particular sent shivers down Amelia's spine. It spoke of the Hollow Man's ability to erase a person's existence, to steal their memories from the minds of others, leaving them utterly forgotten. The more she read, the more she understood the depth of her brother's obsession, an obsession that had seemingly consumed him entirely. Fear gnawed at her. Had Ethan stumbled upon something he shouldn't have? Had his pursuit of the Hollow Man led him to become its victim? The thought sent a cold shiver down her spine. The first sign was subtle. A flicker of movement in the shadows, a whisper of sound that sent chills down Amelia's spine. She dismissed it at first, attributing it to the wind or her own overactive imagination. But as the night wore on, the manifestations grew stronger, more unsettling. Objects moved inexplicably. The floorboards creaked under unseen weight. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls, pronouncements of her name spoken in a voice that sent shivers down her spine. Fear, primal and instinctive, began to take root in her heart. Sleep was impossible. Every creak of the cabin, every rustle of leaves outside seemed to amplify her growing terror. She was alone, trapped in that decaying structure with something she couldn't see, something that seemed to be toying with her, drawing her deeper into its web of fear. The Hollow Man, she realized, was not just a legend, it was real, and it was here, its presence growing stronger with each passing moment. Section 5. A desperate struggle, fighting for existence against oblivion. Panic threatened to consume Amelia as she found herself at the heart of the Hollow Man's haunting. She felt a cold dread seeping into her, a sense of her own being slowly fading. Memories flickered, faces and names becoming blurred, as if her life was being erased stroke by stroke. She stumbled through the cabin, desperate to escape, to hold on to the fading remnants of her own identity. But the more she struggled, the more she felt her memories slipping away, her sense of self dissolving into the encroaching darkness. The Hollow Man was not merely a physical entity, it was a predator of the mind, a thief of identity. It fed on the essence of its victims, leaving behind only emptiness, a void where a person once existed. Driven by a primal need to survive, to hold on to her fading self, Amelia fought back. Section 6. A haunting silence, memories erased, fear remains. The aftermath was a haunting silence. The cabin stood empty, the forest surrounding it eerily still. Amelia was gone, vanished without a trace. Had she escaped the Hollow Man's grasp, or had she become another victim, her existence utterly erased? The only evidence of her presence was a single shoe lying amidst the decaying leaves on the forest floor, a chilling reminder of the terror that haunted these woods. Even the memory of Amelia's visit began to fade, like a whisper lost on the wind. Those who had known her found it increasingly difficult to recall her face, her voice, the details of her life. The Hollow Man's work was complete. Section 7. The Predator's Legacy, a chilling tale of erasure. The legend of the Hollow Man took on a new, more sinister meaning. It was a cautionary tale whispered around campfires, a reminder that some things are best left undisturbed, some secrets better forgotten. The forest remained, a silent and watchful guardian of its secrets. The Hollow Man, it was said, still lurked within its depths, a predator waiting to claim its next victim, to erase another life from existence. The true horror of the Hollow Man lay not just in its ability to kill, but in its power to erase, to leave no trace, no memory, no whisper of a life ever having been lived. It was a fate far worse than death, a fate that left behind only a chilling emptiness. And in the silence of the forest, the Hollow Man's legacy of terror lived on. Section 8. The Enduring Terror, Unsettled Minds, and Lingering Fear. The story of the Hollow Man lingers long after the book is closed. It leaves the reader with a sense of unease, a prickling at the back of the neck, a sudden awareness of shadows that seem to move just beyond the edge of sight. The fear it evokes is primal, instinctive, the fear of the unknown, of the unseen, of the possibility that something might be watching from the darkness, something that seeks to erase not just our physical presence, but our very essence, our memories, our place in the world. The Hollow Man becomes a metaphor for the things that haunt us from the shadows of our own minds, our fears, our insecurities, the nagging feeling that we are somehow not whole, not complete. It reminds us that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are not the ones we see, but the ones we cannot. Section 9. Conclusion. A Legacy of Fear in a Silent World. The Hollow Man, a chilling embodiment of fear and oblivion, continues to haunt the depths of our imaginations. Its story reminds us of the fragility of existence, the terrifying possibility of being utterly erased, leaving no trace, no memory, no legacy behind. The silence left in its wake is perhaps the most unsettling aspect of all. It is a silence that speaks volumes, a silence that echoes the chilling truth that some things are best left undisturbed, some secrets better left buried in the shadows. And in the quiet corners of our minds, the Hollow Man's legacy of fear endures, a chilling reminder of the unseen terrors that lurk just beyond the veil of reality.